In this presentation, we will look at procurement and contract management. Here is a famous saying about procurement and contracting. When there is a negotiation, there is a hope for agreement. Before we start, I will first introduce myself. Hey, this is Amy Law, your presenter. I have been working in IT for over 20 years in pipelines, energy regulator, oil and gas, utilities, transportations, and telecommunications. I have managed projects for over 15 years in IT applications and infrastructure, system and data migration, cybersecurity, ECM, SAP, process improvement, and office facilities. In terms of education, I completed bachelor and master in computer science from the University of Calgary. I received my PMP in 2006. I also completed certifications in project management, change management, ISO 27001, Information Security Management System, and ITIL. The definition of the planned contracting is to document products, services, and result requirements, and to identify potential sellers. In planned contracting, we input the procurement management plan, contract statement of work, and project management plan. We use the standard forms and expert judgment. We get the procurement documents, evaluation criteria, and contract statement of work updates as the output. Here is a sequential process for planned contracting: purchase requisition, procurement documents, contract terms and conditions, and pre-qualification or partnering. The purchase requisition is an internal document indicating evidence of a need. The procurement documents communicate buyers' requirements to prospective sellers. The contract terms and conditions are future contracts to be included in the procurement document. In the pre-qualification and partnering process, we decide who to invite to make an offer. Purchase requisition includes who is the requester and why buy. It includes who should grant the technical and financial approval. It also includes product description, date when product is required, and quantity as bill of material. In terms of pricing, it includes taxes, currency, customs, and dollar value as a tender check estimate. It includes a cost account number from work breakdown structure via contract breakdown structure. Last but not least, it includes ship to address and supplier's name, if known in single or sole sourcing. Procurement documents will eventually end up in a contract. They include an invitation to bid, which is an instruction for tender, bid, quotation, and proposal. They also include a product description, as in a contract statement of work, and general terms and conditions. In some cases, they include special terms and conditions. Last but not least, they include a contract form such as a blank purchase order. Invitation to bid is a document comprising a differentiation between you must and we would like, rules for request sellers' responses and select sellers' process, and terms and conditions of contract A. It is the only document from the procurement documents that is thrown away once contract B is signed. Here is a checklist for invitation to bid: general description of work or reference to solicitation package, what must be included in the offer, offer date, location, tentative contract award date, information about bid depository, place of work such as construction site, pre-bid meeting schedule, sealed offer requirements, maximum number of pages, offer evaluation criteria, letter of acknowledgements, offer validity. How long is the offer valid? Confidentiality agreement, bid security requirements, contract security requirements, bid form, list of documents, exceptions, alternatives. Questions and answers procedure, point of contact, conflict of contact. For example, declare conflict and how to handle it properly. Conditional offers. Bid security is also known as bid bond or bid deposit. It makes bid less capable of being cancelled. It has to be specific. It is usually 10% of the bid price. It is an insurance to protect buyer. Contract securities consist of performance bond and labor and material bond. The performance bond guarantees contract work will be performed for the contract price. The labor and material bond protects buyer from claimants of unpaid bills by the contractor. The agreement to bond is required with the bids. Bond purchased only by the successful bidder. It is usually 50% of the contract price. For example, the bond is $500,000 if the contract is $1 million. FOB stands for Free On Board Shipping Point. It is where the responsibility for the freight, insurance, and customs passes from seller to buyer. It usually goes to purchasing department for decision. Currency exchange rate specifies seller's currency or buyer's currency. A forward contract is a customized contract between two parties to buy or to sell an asset at a specific price for delivery and payment at a future date. The terms and conditions include how to handle changes in scope, how to handle dispute, how to handle delays, and how to handle termination. General terms and conditions specify the right to approve subcontractors, the name for formal contact with the contractor, the place of work and governing law, and penalty and bonus clauses. Depending on your conditions, we select standard forms and documents. We make sure clauses fit. Some of the standard forms are purchase requisition, purchase order, evaluation matrix, change order, insurance form, financing agreements, and terms and conditions. We avoid overkill because too much details will scare contractors. Pre-qualification is by invitation only. The buyer starts with a long list from procurement plan and pre-qualifies the bidders through a bidder's evaluation matrix. Typically, the buyer has 4 to 6 bidders and get the information from their past work and references. A vendor pre-qualification matrix consists of a criteria and a weight for each seller. Example of criteria or category include the seller qualification, previous work with similar projects, years in experience, financial strength, bondable or not, certification, resource availability relative to their size and work backlog, safety record with Worker Compensation Board, WCB, size, location, warranty track record reputation, and so forth. The weight can be ranged from 1 to 10, with 10 being the most important and 1 being not important. Each seller will be compared on the same criteria and aims to get the highest score. RFI stands for Request for Information. It is mainly used to gather information to help make a decision on what steps to take next. RFIs are often used in combination with Request for Proposal, RFP, Request for Tender, RFT, and Request for Quotation, RFQ. The sellers will provide a list of similar projects and references. They will also provide their company qualifications, corporate approach to project management, and certifications. Partnering is an agreement between a buyer and a seller to collaborate towards achievement of contract work objectives. Partnering is not the same as partnership because partnership refers to two contractors joined into an entity for effectiveness. There are many benefits on partnering. They include the concurrent engineering, risk sharing, avoid cost of litigation, higher performance, better availability of goods and services to buyers in a seller's market, and assured revenues to sellers in a buyer's market. This is especially beneficial when the market cycle is volatile to ups and downs. Here are more benefits on partnering. Integrated team can enhance communications, increase the trust between parties. Persistent commitment can lead to contract-level problem solving. Focus on long-term objectives of the buyer and seller helps realize short-term objectives. Partnering is the process. First, the buyer pre-qualifies partnering contractors. Next, the buyer hosts partnering workshops. Then the buyer signs a partnering charter and then signs a real contract. The buyer and seller monitor and address issues together. For example, avoid each other is a breakdown signal that must be addressed as soon as it is detected. The buyer and seller make follow-up workshops. Thank you very much for your time. Please contact me for additional project management templates and samples. Here's my contact information.